What is up, everybody? Welcome back to That Damn Baseball Show with Blue Jays Today and Jimmy BALLCAP Sports. In this installment of That Damn Baseball Show, we are going to be doing way too early. I cannot preface that and put that in all capitals enough. This is way too freaking early. MLB Power Rankings. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to throw around a lot of opinions here. I don't expect this to be an exact list that stays concrete right up until the beginning of the season, but it's going to be a lot of fun anyways. I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog.
Yeah, I'm your host, Don Peddle. Yeah, I feel like after all the big free agents have kind of left the board, there are a few little stragglers here and there. We'll definitely still talk about them throughout the offseason, folks. Don't you worry. But I feel like we got a good idea right now. So I'm hungry. I'm hungry for some baseball. 100 days away, baby. And I think it's time to start looking at the season. Jimmy, how are you doing today, my man? How are you feeling? Are you excited to talk to some baseball today?
I'm excited to, yes, talk about on the field, talk about the teams, talk about what we expect as opposed to, the transactions are fun. It's a blast. I love talking that. But to mix it up a little bit, to talk about these teams and the players in the league under a different light is kind of exciting to me because I do like you said, the major pieces free agent wise are off the board now. So we are expecting trades to happen, but the trade market's all jammed up because teams don't want to part with their top prospects for players that have experience that we've actually seen play at the major league level. And we know how they are at the major league level, Pablo Lopez and Brian Reynolds. We don't want to give up the prospects because maybe those guys are better. So we're kind of jammed up in the trade market. But I got to think the majority of what we're about to talk about is going to be pretty close when we actually get to spring training and we do a not too early power ranking. I think it'll be pretty close to this.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool.
Shall we?
Let's get straight into it, everybody.
We are going to save all of you a bunch of time and keep you guys from having to listen to us talk about the bottom half of the league. This 30 through 21 that we're about to pull up is going to essentially just be populated. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on that because do you really want to talk about who are the worst teams? I think we all kind of already know who the worst teams are. Not a lot has changed on that front from last year, so we'll fill them in. We know that the Washington Nationals are back here.
Absolutely.
Oakland is back here. Let's see. We've got Cincinnati.
Yeah, get them there.
Back here. Pittsburgh. Let's wait till Pittsburgh at the end. I want to.
Give us some respect.
I just want to see something real quick.
KC's garbage.
KC's gonna be back there. I think
the Rockies.
The Rockies are probably. Rockies will be a fringe team. Pittsburgh's gonna be a fringe team too.
Yeah. They're in the upper of the tier, but still pretty bad.
Is Detroit still that bad?
I think so. I think we can comfortably put them 30 through 21. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Diamondbacks. We got to put the Diamondbacks there.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks are going to be there.
Garbage. They're still garbage.
Okay.
We've got I think Miami's got to be in there.
Miami, I would
pretty
agree.
Close, but yeah.
I would agree.
One more team.
Okay,
this is where it gets interesting.
This one's actually tough. This is where we got to talk.
So we have the nominations are Boston.
Yeah.
Boston.
The Cubs.
Yeah.
Probably the Cubs.
The Angels.
Yeah.
Angels.
And Orioles. I think we got to put Orioles in the nomination anyways.
What do
I
we
don't
think
think
about?
they're going to be up here, but
I was almost going to say Brewers, but I feel like that's so disrespectful.
No, we can't put them that low.
What do we think about the Twins? I think it might be the Twins.
Oh.
Last year, the Twins were sort of towards the back half anyway. They're talking about maybe trading Sonny Gray and Kenta Maeda. You lose Carlos Correa. They haven't really jogged my memory if I'm forgetting anybody. They have not made an impact move. I know they traded for Tyler Mahle at the deadline last year, and you'll have him.
Actually,
Maeda should be back. So I feel like
if we're thinking Twins too.
Like
Twins
over Angels, really?
I
think
do.
Angels are
About to
slightly
do this
better.
over Angels.
Yeah.
Don't worry, because the Angels aren't too far away.
No, I mean, I hear what you're saying. Like, I do anticipate they're gonna we're debating. Like, this is I really don't give a crap. Screw it. Twins put them there. I don't care.
I do.
They're all
Yeah.
bad.
Speaking of which, Brandon Drury just got the signed by the Angels right now.
Who did?
There we go.
Who did? What
Brandon
happened?
Drury just got signed by the Angels. 2 years,
Like
$17 million deal.
Good for Brandon Drury. Good.
Yeah.
The Angels. There you go. You upgrade your offense a little bit. We'll see what Brandon Drury can do.
signing.
That's good.
That's a good.
That is
signing.
good. Breaking news. Yes, Jeff Passan.
Okay,
2 for
there you go.
17.
Well, for that reason and that reason alone,
Wow. Angels just saved their power ranking right
literally,
there.
it's like dude,
Exactly.
their manager hopped in the live stream and was like, "Oh crap!"
No way.
Yes, we're on the line, guys. Pull the trigger. Get the Brandon Drury deal done. We got to get out of that bottom row now. Get the deal done. Announce it before they put us in that 30 through 21. Okay. I like that Brandon Drury signing. By the way, everybody, if you haven't yet, please do us both channels a favor. Hit that like and subscribe if you have not yet. Be sure to like and subscribe, everybody. Stay close to the channel as we continue to move on. I just want to make sure we don't have anything there. We're good. All right, so now here we go. Now it's going to get interesting. 20 through 16. The next, I think maybe what we should do, what do you guys think about trying to come to a consensus on who these 5 teams are and then order them?
Okay.
I think that's the way that we should go about it. So, as far as nominations go,
give me a team.
I think that we can throw the Red Sox in the nomination category for sure here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Comment in the chat too. Anybody that is live in the chat with us, comment in the chat. We will probably, very likely, have to go to a poll 1 or 2 times during this exercise, during this stream. So make sure you hang tight because you may be making some crucial decisions here. But I do think the Red Sox make sense here. Zachary's got the Orioles. Maybe the Orioles. Orioles definitely a nomination.
I was thinking about them. They could go up, but we'll see. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, Orioles jumping into that 15 to 11 spot. That might be a stretch. Last year, I had them finish at 14. So they're going to be in that fringy 16, 15, 14 spot. So let's put the Orioles in here for now.
Yeah.
Give me another team, guys.
I like we're just talking about it. The Angels. You got to put the Angels there.
Got to have the Angels. How about the Cubs? Do the Cubs need to be in here?
I think so.
Yeah, Cubs got to be there.
We got to look at the other teams too.
Yeah.
As far as the other teams go, yes, Cubs.
Ooh.
Now
I feel like are the Rangers.
We've got Rays. People seeing Rays.
So
you're getting Rays.
I'm going to put my 2 cents in here. I feel like the squads that need to be considered are the Rays.
Yep.
Are the White Sox, the Rangers, the Milwaukee Brewers, and the San Francisco Giants. One of those 5 teams is going to be here.
Definitely. 1,000%.
I don't know which one, though. They're all pretty close in my opinion.
I'm getting in my chat a lot of Rangers, a lot of Rays, White Sox. I mean, it's all kind of it's all in that same general area. So let's think about the difference between the Rangers and the White Sox. Last year the Rangers on my power rankings, I had them finish at 24. I had the White Sox at 16 for whatever that matters. But thinking about the upgrades, the White Sox get Andrew Benintendi. They're losing Jose Abreu.
Yeah.
They lose Abreu. They bring in Benintendi. They haven't really done anything to improve the pitching. They may be trading their closer.
Good trade, Hendricks. Yep.
The Rangers bring in DeGrom. The Rangers bring in Heaney. I do expect Jung to be a nice player. I think that you got something nice with Lowe. This is a tough one. Is it between the Rangers and the White Sox? Because
I would say so. Because Giants, I feel like they're upgrading with these additions, and they made some good, smart pitching moves. I feel like they're not in this tier. I'm gonna rule them out.
Okay.
Brewers, I feel like they have some potential. They did sign. I made a couple sneaky good signings.
Yep.
I think that's what it's got to be. Maybe should we do a poll? Or should
Yes,
we
you
debate
guys,
the
you
team
guys do a poll on your
Yeah.
channel. I will do a poll on mine as well, guys. It's coming out. We are going to have to make the decision on
Yeah.
Rangers or White Sox.
I'm
We're
like
going to
really
put a poll
split
up.
on
We're
it,
going to do it
honestly.
quick.
Yeah,
Like,
it's close.
I'm like really split on this one.
But why don't we do this? While we get our polls up and going, first of all, guys, drop a like if you haven't already on both of our channels, BALLCAP Sports and Blue Jays Today. Hit that subscribe button and smash that post notification bell button so you can get updated when we're going live every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Should we rank right here? So are we going to agree that like both either the White Sox and the Rangers would grab that number 16 spot if chosen?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just asked our chat right now who's better between the two of them. So I guess whichever team loses out here
Would grab the 16 spot.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think, Adam, where you're going with that is we can rank these 4.
Rank these guys. So who's the worst of that?
The worst of these. Ooh, I feel like
I want to say Baltimore.
I don't think it's Baltimore, man.
I think it's Boston.
I think it's either Boston or LA Angels for me.
They did lose Xander.
Like
Yeah,
this
they're
is
losing
kind of
Eovaldi.
what I'm kind of thinking is this right here, like Boston and the Angels.
Like okay.
As
yes.
the worst. So wait, are we going best left to right or worst left to right?
Do you guys want me to put the better team over closer to this column
honestly,
right here?
doesn't matter to me as long as we just like whatever it is. If the best team is on the right, then that's fine. If the best team's on the right in this situation, then I think I probably agree with these rankings.
How it looks right now?
Yeah.
Red Sox, Angels, Orioles, Cubs.
Yeah, like I almost want. I don't know why, because it's the paper, right? With the Angels being better than the Orioles. Like on paper, I feel like the Angels are better, but every year, every year it's garbage. So
I could flip flop them. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to leave it? I'm okay if we want to go Angels better than the Orioles.
Yeah, if you both think that if Orioles we'll go with the majority.
Honestly, I guess I'm just off the Angels because I know that it's never gonna work.
It's gonna work.
And
it's gonna work. They got Brandon Drury now.
He's gonna get traded, and it's like
no.
I don't care that much either.
Let's leave these. We'll leave these 4 how they sit right now.
Yeah, leave them.
20 is Boston, 19 are the Angels, 18 Orioles, 17 Cubs. Let's get the number 16 team. I'm going to end my poll.
You
guys
poll
your
right
poll.
now.
Let me know what you have. I have. Let's see. I need to.
So I asked, just to clarify this. I asked everybody here who's better.
Yep.
So that means that the team that is less is going to inevitably be the worst team here. Rangers. 56% of people thought that the Rangers were better than the Chicago White Sox.
So I had. My poll would have the White Sox. So the White Sox would be coming up next on my poll. I had 62% to 38%. And you had 56% Rangers?
Yeah, Rangers are better than the White Sox.
So let's go White Sox.
Yeah.
And then Rangers will lead us off.
Rangers will lead us off. So exactly. So White Sox 16 and Rangers are going to be 15. I like this so far, everybody. We're doing good. If you guys haven't liked or subscribed to both of the channels, then now is your time to do so. We're trying to get up to 69 likes here over on Blue Jays Today. I'm not sure where Jim's at right now.
Let's get to 69. I think we can get there. Hit that like
I think we can get there, guys.
Go to 69. That's the number. Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
Wow. Let's just like admire here. The Rangers, so you said they were ranked 24 at the end of last year for you.
That's where I had them. That's right.
Now they're up to 15 after all those moves.
I mean, there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of hype going around. Like this is one of those classic situations where we're probably going to overrate them a little bit too much. And it's going to take them a season or two.
Right.
This has happened time and time again, but like I'm ready to buy in and hop on the train. Jacob deGrom is a great player.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, this is way too early, right?
Yeah.
So that's the fallback here, guys. If we're screwing this up, it's because it's way too early.
All right.
So, okay. We now have 4. Here's the magnificent part about this. The 2 teams that get ranked next are the 2 teams that just miss out on the postseason.
Oh.
So we've got 2 more teams, and those will miss the playoffs. Everybody after that is a playoff team. There we go, Major League Baseball. Almost half the league is in. Okay, so where do we go for the next 4? I think you guys mentioned a couple. You guys had Milwaukee in there.
We're here.
I felt like it. Yeah.
You guys were talking Milwaukee before. You were talking San Francisco before.
For sure.
What about the I think the Rays?
The Rays,
are we Rays at this point?
That feels right. Because also, and Guardians are in that tier of fringe, like playoff team. They did add Josh Bell. That's a great move. The pitching's still intact, but they're fringe.
I like Cleveland this year. Oh man, we have to get one more.
We're
team.
gonna have to get rid of
Cleveland.
Like, what team is gonna underperform? Because I think every single team that's left here has aspirations of being top 10, but one of them's gonna underperform. So who's it gonna be?
Yep.
Who is going to not do as good as we think they're gonna do? Or is the St. Louis Cardinals? Are they gonna be old? Are they gonna be old and fall apart? I'm not totally buying. I'm not totally buying into that personally, but I'm just throwing that out there. Is that going to happen here?
I think the safe bet might be Cleveland.
Yeah,
I think it might be Cleveland, and I'll be honest with you,
they're a good team. But
I'm on them right now. Like, I'm on them. But you're right. You're probably right.
Yeah, again, it's power rankings. Like all these other teams just seem more powerful, more proven.
It does feel like you could if you were to throw money down on this and you were to say, of the remaining 11 teams, Cleveland and everybody that's down here, who do you think wins more games? I think you bet on all of those teams down there.
Yeah.
Over Cleveland to win more games.
Cleveland, they could totally win 90 games. They could.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of these teams, if they don't win 90 games, is an upsetting season.
Well, Cleveland could win 90. All these other teams could and probably will win more than 90.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I could see New York, Houston, Atlanta, the other New York, LA, San Diego pushing 100. I can see everybody else going 94, 95.
Yeah.
Even division rivals. But, we saw it last year. The Mets and the Braves both won 100 plus. So. But I think we could probably agree, and I have a super chat that just came in from KD. Thank you for the donation, KD. The way Cleveland's lineup is constructed with so many lefty and switch hitters, good luck pitching to them. They are the opposite of the Blue Jays. KD, thank you for the donation. I agree with you. Yeah. I love the way the Cleveland lineup is constructed. I absolutely do. The trouble with Cleveland is and now he doesn't get hurt that often, but they're one Jose Ramirez injury away from that lineup looking a lot different.
100. They're anchored. They made a great move getting Josh Bell.
Josh Bell
was a great compliment to Jose Ramirez.
I like Bell. I like Rosario. I like Jimenez. I like Naylor.
Naylor's amazing.
I like a lot of it, but if you lose Jose Ramirez, all of a sudden you're one player away from a potential. I don't call it a disaster, but a major problem.
Right. And here's why I love them too. Look, they built defense and pitching first, right? Yep. And they just so happen we're blessed with Jose Ramirez, right? And they traded away Lindor a couple years ago. But then the rest of their young talent just kind of came up and complemented everything in that lineup and became great defenders and already had the great pitching. So that's the way I like seeing a baseball team being built. That's what gives them power for me.
So, I mean, a great transition here then as we're talking about a team being one player away from, like, not being it anymore. I mean, one pretty damn good player is Bryce Harper. Now, I know that this team went to the World Series last year, but in this next tier of 6 to 10, are the Philadelphia Phillies going to be in this one? Also, big shout out to Carol for the super chat here. Hi, fellas. So nothing's happening with Toronto. I guess, basically Toronto has not done anything right now, but we are ranking where Toronto is. This is way too early for rankings, but shout out and thank you for the super chat.
Yep.
What's next? 10 to 6.
Are we good?
Are we
Oh,
solid
fuck,
on the
yeah,
ranking?
My bad. I didn't even remember this.
That's all good. So we got Texas at 15. We know that's set.
Yeah.
We have Cleveland at 11. We know that's set. So it's really Milwaukee, San Fran, and Tampa. And I might leave it.
That actually looks good.
Yeah, I might leave it.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Now, here's the situation. Carlos Correa has to pass that physical because if he doesn't, San Francisco's in an interesting spot. But let's
drop it quick.
Yeah.
Let's assume that everything's going to work out just fine, and whatever's going on, it was a bad hangnail or something, and it fired off an alarm, and they'll work it out. So we'll go Texas, Milwaukee, San Fran, Tampa, and Cleveland. We'll finish up 15 through 11. I have to remind everybody, if you haven't yet, make sure to hit that like. I am a few likes away from 69. 69 is the goal. So hit that like if you haven't. Boys, same on Blue Jays Today. If you're not there, everybody help us get to those like goals. Let's get to 69 and beyond it. Let's see how far beyond 69 we can get. So 10 through 6.
Okay.
Philly. I feel like it's between. Okay, here's what we have to do. We have to I feel like we need to almost recuse ourselves as far as it goes with the Toronto Blue Jays, right?
For sure.
So Toronto is in this 10 through 6.
For sure.
We're both going to agree on that.
We agree.
So, and I think most people will agree that they're right around 10.
Yeah.
The question is, are they 10? Is Philly 10? Or is St. Louis 10? That's the question.
One of those teams.
I feel like that's a tier within itself, and you can even toss in the Mariners in there. Like I think that the Mariners are better than the Blue Jays.
I think the Mariners are ahead of those three teams, though.
Yep.
But
I think I might agree with this. I think I might have Seattle. You add Teoscar Hernandez. The loss of Swanson there in the bullpen is not going to hurt them at all. You have a full season with Luis Castillo. If Robbie Ray scuffles at times again, it's okay because he's not your number one anymore. Luis Castillo is your number one. So you have your ace with Castillo, and Gilbert is amazing. You've got a ton of options for the back of the rotation and more coming with Emerson Hancock. I'm gonna throw it out here right now, guys. I think that Seattle's better than San Diego. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Here, let's do this. We can. I think all agree that it's about this. Phillies
and Phillies. That's the
and
three.
Then San Diego and then Seattle.
Yeah,
Is
Mariners.
this?
Okay, that's it right there.
Yeah. I feel like that's the tier.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
now
the
we
tier.
Rank them.
The order now is what's interesting. So
actually, I like it the way it is. I'm saying right now, I like it the way it is. Someone fight me on it.
See, San Diego Padres lost some. They did get Xander Bogaerts. That is a huge addition. Their lineup's looking a lot better. They lost Sean Manaea. They lost Mike Clevenger. Right? They still got Yu Darvish, Blake Snell. Who else have they got in that rotation? Oh, they got Joe Musgrove. But who else? They have depth. I know for sure.
It's honestly, it's the pitching that concerns me over there, and it's the pitching that concerns me over there, and it's also the
bullpen.
Fact that,
what's their bullpen?
That like I'm not totally
bullpen's still good.
That they are like a team, and the way that I say that is like they've thrown a lot of money at a lot of players, and I know that Machado's got the team mindset, but I don't know if that clubhouse is going to translate necessarily into being incredible. Whereas I feel like Seattle has been built a little bit more from the ground up.
Yeah, you know what I keep thinking about, though? San Diego, when Tatis is back, is going to go in whatever order you want to put it. Soto, Tatis,
that's messed
Bogaerts, Machado.
That's
and even when it drops off a little bit, it's still you've got Jake Cronenworth. I'm forgetting somebody too. Who am I forgetting in that group?
Yeah.
They signed Matt Carpenter, which some people might like it, some people might not. I'm leaning towards the more might not category with Matt Carpenter. Ha-Sung Kim looked like he started to take a step. Trent Grisham could bounce back. So Seattle, oh boy, this is where it gets. This is where it does get.
Yeah,
it gets
I almost want to put them slightly ahead. Slightly ahead.
So everybody that's watching, this is not final until the stream ends. A lot of times what helps is we populate the board, and then we'll take a look and we'll be like, oh, that doesn't work. This team needs to move up or this team's move back. So don't worry, anybody, because I see a lot of people in the chat saying that the Padres are better than the Dodgers. Padres ranked higher than the Dodgers. We need to get the Dodgers into the conversation to tackle that. And we haven't gotten the Dodgers into the conversation.
Dodgers haven't made any moves. Barely. They got back Kershaw, but they did lose.
Well, the Dodgers lost Trey Turner.
Yep.
They lose some starting pitching depth with Haney and Anderson. They replace it with Noah Syndergaard. You get Dustin May back, and you hope that he's going to be electric like he can be. Will he be is a whole other thing. Kershaw, what are you going to expect? 20 starts, 20 to 25 out of Kershaw. You don't have Buehler. So you're going to go into a season without Walker Buehler till late. You did not replace Trey Turner. Some of the moves they've made have been nice moves. I like the JD Martinez acquisition, but is LA better? So I don't want to say the Dodgers are better than they were last year. So if they come back, still they could come back to a what they get 111 wins, 112, 113, whatever it was. They set the franchise record last year. So even if they come back, even if they drop 10 wins from last year, they're still a 100 win team. Yeah. So then what you have to think about is, okay, well, is San Diego now a 100 win team?
Not guaranteed, but they could.
That's right. I do think they could. I think they could.
Big shout out here quickly to Willard Tallcree for the super chat dono right there. Just throwing out an insane trade. Maybe we can respond to it after we're done the power rankings here. Bichette for Devers, insanity. I'd love to hear all about the Devers stuff going on there. I don't know about that one, big man, but it's good food for thought.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough to imagine Boston trading Devers within the division, and likewise Toronto sending Bo within the division.
But we already have Matt Chapman.
Right. It doesn't necessarily line up. It's a fun thought, but yeah, there are definitely some other parts there. So
what are we going to do here?
I guess the question is this. I think Toronto's 10. I don't think we need to go to a poll. I think we could all kind of agree that Toronto's 10. I kind of like the idea of Cardinals 9, Phillies 8.
Yeah, I'm
really torn. I'm torn between Seattle and San Diego at this number 6 spot, at the 6-7 spot.
I'm gonna agree. Obviously I like them both.
I do. I like them both.
That that lineup is gross. The pitching's good. I like the Mariners pitching better than Padres pitching. I will say that. I will say that for sure. But the lineup is better. Which, you know what? Actually, I just convinced myself. I prefer better pitching. And it's not even like Mariners lineup is that bad. Yeah. I think the Padres are more superstars, like studded.
Yep. It's very top heavy. It's very top heavy. San Diego's very top heavy.
Okay.
Mariners are more deep.
Listen to this. All right. Julio Rodriguez, Ty France, Eugenio Suarez, Teoscar Hernandez, Cal Raleigh. That's like the Seattle Mariners. That's their 5 right there.
Yeah.
That's their top 5. That's
good.
not bad.
It's good.
There are some superstars right there. That's, Ty France and Julio Rodriguez and Teoscar Hernandez. Those guys are superstars.
That's really good. Those guys are a tier down outside of Julio. Julio is right up there. But I feel like those other bats are a tier down. With San Diego, we're looking at future Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
With Seattle, we're looking at all-stars. That's the only but very legit in their own right. I did get a super chat I want to address. I want to give it again. Hey Jack, thank you for the donation. Move the Phillies up and the Mariners down. Here's the only thing about the Phillies. This is the one thing about Philadelphia. Bryce Harper's out until the All-Star break. Yeah, so now Trey Turner is a fantastic addition. He doesn't bring to you what Bryce Harper brought, but he brings you some other greatness in other areas. So for that reason, I can't put Philly ahead of San Diego and Seattle. And that's Did you guys agree with me on that? I mean, I definitely
agree.
think
I'll
the
tell you
conversation.
right now, if Bryce Harper was 100% healthy, then I personally have Philadelphia at the very least 6th on this list.
Yeah.
And I think you start to make an argument for why they should be in the top 5. The only reason that they're down there at 8 is literally because, the MVP, an MVP candidate right here is not going to be on your team. And God, who knows? Is he going to come back fully healthy? Is it going to take him a while to get back in the rhythm? Like, I don't know.
Sure.
So those are the question marks.
Yeah, no, he could come back and do a minor league rehab stint, which is a minor league rehab stint, and then but still be working out time. The spring training starts a month out for players to work on their timing, and certain hitters need different. They need to see so many pitches. Some hitters probably need to see 50 pitches and they're good to go. Some hitters maybe need to see 100 pitches and they're good to go. So it really just depends on how Bryce is able to get up to speed. But it's a good point that he may come back, and that first month maybe a slow start because it's the timing. We don't know. We don't know. I don't want it to be perceived that we're sleeping on Philly. This is difficult. We are at a very difficult portion of the power rankings, trying to decipher between Philly, San Diego, and Seattle. So when all of these teams, in my opinion, are so close together as it is, missing Bryce Harper for half the season is a deciding factor that moves you out of the conversation. Even though Philly's going to be great, Philly's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I just want to explain that so people understand exactly what the thought process is here. I love Philly. My Phillies. Where's my Philly hat? Hold on. It's still here from the postseason. My Phillies.
Oh,
my Phillies.
Yeah.
I love the team. I love the team. I love the players on the team. Hey Jack with another super chat. They went 32-20 without Bryce, thus coming from a Mets fan. No doubt about it. 32-20. They did do well without Bryce, team. but even is it 32-20? Like if you removed that 52 game stretch, they were obviously a lot better with him. It's right. You got to break it into chunks, right? Rob Girardi out, Rob Thompson in. From that moment, exactly. Rob Thompson was in. They caught fire. Then they lost Bryce, and then they went 32-20 during that stretch without him. So if you take those, I don't know what it is. The record with Bryce post Rob Thompson, the winning percentage is probably even better than that. So anyway.
Right. I also think just throwing out here right now, I think that Seattle and San Diego will do better than 32-20 in a full, 52 game sample size, being fully healthy.
Right.
Right. So either way, that's a great small sample size, but we need to figure this out right now. San Diego or Seattle?
I'm leaning Seattle because I convinced myself while talking to you there, Jim.
Yeah.
I like the pit. Look, I love the offense for sure.
Yeah.
San Diego Padres. Better than the Mariners, but the Mariners pitching I like better, and that and that is the easy reason why for me why they're ahead. I think they're ahead. They're number 6.
The flaws. I'm trying to think of flaws because that's what can sometimes again be the deciding factor in the conversation. We think about flaws for San Diego. The rotation's top heavy. The lineup is top heavy.
Yeah,
you will be without Tatis to start the year, and similarly to how. Bryce is going to need some time. Tatis is going to need some time. Is Tatis going to be able to participate in spring training?
I don't.
Someone's going to have to look that up and double check that because he's suspended, but will they allow him to partake in spring training? And then again, the season will start and he'll go back on the suspended list. I'm kind of curious. Somebody in the chat, I have a few people already commenting that he can participate.
Okay.
I have a lot of people in the chat saying that, yes, he can. So Tatis will have spring training if everybody that's in the chat has got it. He'll be ready. It won't be like Bryce Harper where Bryce Harper is going to just straight up miss spring training. Tatis should be able to get timing down, and then he's just going to have to keep it. And get it back in a minor league.
Something to note here. I just took a moment to look up the 2022 regular season bullpen ERAs by each team. Now, this is obviously not going to be exact. There has been some movement on both squads.
Yeah.
But, just to add food for thought here, San Diego, they were ranked 14th in bullpen ERA. Seattle, they were ranked 6th. So they could definitely lock it down. Like, they were pretty top tier with their bullpen. Something to consider.
I remember thinking when they were up against Toronto, like, I didn't want to admit it on our podcast. I never wanted to admit it, but I did believe that the Seattle Mariners were the better team, and for the exact same reason. Their bullpen, their pitching was just better.
Now, granted as well, a kind of a counterpoint to that, and one thing that does need to be noted here is the Padres did make it just further in the playoffs. Now, it was by one round. It wasn't, like incredibly further, but they did make it further. Granted, Seattle went up against the World Series champions.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, it's not like they lost out to any scrubs. Like they, everybody lost to Houston. So, this is a tough one.
I'm going with them number 6.
I think. Are you with me? I think we leave it right now.
Yeah.
Let's get into the 5.
Right, we're so stuck on this one, and it's it's just so.
I think because we know how the next group is going to be, right? These are the next 5.
Yeah.
This is our 1 through 5. So we need to align this. I actually think Dodgers. I feel like for now, I think Dodgers at 5.
I agree.
I think Dodgers at 5. I'm already getting ahead of myself. I think the Dodgers at 5.
I want to say
between these 3,
I want to move. I kind of want to move Braves down to 4.
Braves,
they're really good.
Braves at 4. Braves.
So okay, I'm gonna make an argument here as to why I think actually the Yankees should be 5.
Okay,
and I'm gonna argue here because. And I love their pitching. I think their pitching's incredible.
Right.
Probably, just objectively, like from a player standpoint, you could argue that's the best lineup in baseball. But the thing about the Dodgers is, guys, their coaching is top tier. And I think that even though they're losing out on some pieces right now, I feel like we're sleeping on the fact that they won. Like what you said, 111, 112 games right here. Like, I feel like, they're one playoff exit away, from being they were literally number 1 in power rankings all last year. That was unquestioned, right? Right up until they got knocked out.
Right.
So it's like, are we sleeping on that a little bit too much by bumping them all the way down to 5? Like, I get that they lost Trey Turner, but still, like, all the way to 5? That last year team was like one of the best records ever.
So my thing about the Dodgers and why I am leaning closer to the 5 is that Trey Turner is gone and he was not replaced. You have no Walker Buehler until maybe September. Walker Buehler's not going to be around until later. Tyler Anderson did a great job stepping in, right? Can you expect that from Noah Syndergaard? What Tyler Anderson did, can you expect that from Thor? I don't know if I really can. Clayton Kershaw last year started 22 games. I think that's the over under that you set for this year. So I feel like you're probably going to miss 10 starts from Kershaw. I do believe in Gonsolin. I do think Dustin May can be a great pitcher, but you're looking. I look at the rotation as a step back. I look at the lineup as a step back to the point where I think we're looking at the Dodgers as it's funny to say this, 98, 99, 100 win team. But I think that the 4 teams in front of them will also be pushing 100 win. This 5 through 1 is the 100 win club, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers are the team that just because, listen, if Kershaw goes down early, and Noah Syndergaard, I'm doing devil's advocate, right? If Kershaw goes down early, Noah Syndergaard doesn't have it, and it's falling on Arias Gonsolin in May. And how many innings do you expect Dustin May to pitch coming off of the injury last year? How much can he give you? I feel like there is room for error with the Dodgers. And again, losing Trey Turner, not replacing him. Chris Taylor had a really bad year last year, and you're going to count on him to bounce back because right now you got Gavin Lux as your shortstop. The center fielder is Trace Thompson. The left fielder is a rookie. I know Outman had a great start last year. but it was only 16 plate appearances. So
Mm-hmm.
give them more larger sample size, and you'll see what you really have there. I just feel like the Dodgers have.
Yeah.
Dodgers.
I feel like I agree, Jim. I feel like they've stepped back enough for me, for on paper at least, to go, okay, you're gonna fall to the 5th spot right now.
Okay, you know what? That's a strong enough argument. I don't necessarily believe it, but I understand.
I get where you're coming from, though.
We're looking for anything right now to bump these teams down, and you know what? For right now, that's enough. So they're 5.
Mm-hmm. And I will agree with that. If you're because you want to put the Yankees down at 5, I'll agree that they're 4. Because I initially said Braves. I don't know why. Because I love the lineup. I love the Braves lineup. I love the Braves rotation.
I think the Yankees are 4.
I just love everything about the Braves. They're so well rounded. They're always in top tier in all the categories: pitching, defense, offense. Yeah. So I agree with Yankees at 4.
The question is Braves or Mets. Here it is. So I like the Yankees at 4 as well. And between the Braves, Mets, and Astros, I feel like it's between the Braves and the Mets for the number 3 spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So this is where, some people are going to get really cranked up and really unhappy about our opinions and our
especially with the rivalry and everything too. They want to.
Oh, you've got the rivalry. You've got.
I know where I'm at. Do you guys know where you're at with this, or are you like debating?
Oh, man,
I'm trying to think of both teams right now.
So Atlanta's got Max at the top, Kyle Wright, Charlie Morton, Spencer Strider, maybe Mike Soroka. I'll leave it at that. Maybe Mike Soroka. So they've got 4 that we know, and then a question mark at the back. And then, the Mets have a great rotation. The bullpen for Atlanta looks good. The Mets bullpen, I have to pull it up. We look at the lineups. That Braves lineup: Acuna, Harris, Riley, Olsen, Murphy, Ozzie. Yeah. It's tough. They're both tough. They both won 101 games last year. That's where we're back. Like these 2 teams should basically be tied at the number 3 spot. William, I see your donation come over. Fried and Strider. Fried and Strider versus 2 40-year-olds for the whole year. Who are you taking?
Yeah, right.
No,
I feel like
with a good point.
I feel like this is gonna have to be a poll situation.
I'm with you. Let's give it to the poll. Let's give it to Apple Plays. What's going on, my guy? How are you? Let's give it to the poll. You guys are going to decide who's better, Mets or Braves. We're going to start the poll. Everybody hit the like. I am like one more like away from 100. So if you haven't used your like yet, let's try to launch as far as we can past 100. If you have not yet. Let me see here.
All right. Yeah, I agree.
Is better.
Mets are just like, they're just and I am not a fan of the buying your way to a championship, because time and time again you see it not work. But they are really trying. They're really giving it their best shot. Whereas Braves are just such a good team, just such a well-developed team.
It's got to be like, I personally like the Braves better here, and I would put Braves too. Like, they won the World Series 2 years ago. They were elite and dominant last year once again. The New York Mets, like, they really do feel bought, and at some point or another, maybe this is blasphemous, but at some point or another, Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander are not going to be good at baseball anymore. When is that going to happen? Is that going to happen this year? Is it going to happen to both of them? Is it not going to happen at all? I don't know. But, it's just like, we're talking about like teams being a few injuries away. Like, we're a few, like, these guys are ready to go to the old age home, So it's like, I don't know, man. I just feel like the Braves are... The Mets are trying to buy what the Braves already have. And I know that it works with the Braves, and that's why I personally go Braves. But it's obviously very, very close.
No, I would slightly lean Braves. But, like, I cannot, like, dismiss what the Mets have done this offseason. It's just they've got replaced everything and more. Like it's incredible.
Don't you feel like for the Mets, there's a lot that has to go right, even with everything that they've done?
Yeah,
Verlander and Scherzer have to stay. Verlander and Scherzer have to stay healthy. Kodai Senga has to be able to transition to the major leagues. Jose Quintana needs to do what he did last year again. Remember, Jose Quintana fell off, and last year was a revitalization year. Is that who he's going to be? So you need a lot happening in that element. I love I got to tell you, I really like the Mets bullpen. Obviously, with Diaz at the back, bring back Ottavino. David Robertson is there. I kind of like this bullpen. I like the high leverage pieces at the back. Let me put it that way. So it just and Mets fans will tell you you need another bat. I don't know if you're going to get one, but Mets fans want another bat. How's your poll looking right now? They want more pop.
They want more?
Thank you for the 12 months, by the way. Thank you for the 12 months, William, or 11 months. I appreciate that. And also, Jeff, thank you for the 12 months. BALLCAP Nation Platinum, thank you both for that. How's your poll looking?
I'm good to end it whenever you are, Jim.
Go ahead.
I'm good to end it whenever you are, buddy.
I'm done. Mine is a near runaway.
Oh, is it Mets?
No.
It's Braves?
I got Braves 60 to 40%. How about you?
60. So you had Braves as 60% better.
I said, who's better?
Okay, I said the exact same thing, and we have 62% Mets.
What?
Braves, bro.
Wow.
Okay, you know what? This is too close. This is too close for this garbage. You guys did not do anything here. This was you guys were supposed to make this easy on us.
Okay.
I know that Adam's saying Braves. I know that I'm saying Braves. Do you have a strong argument for Mets, or are you on Braves as well?
If you guys are both saying Braves, it doesn't matter what I say. I am outvoted.
Yeah, but I'm curious to know, like, what is your gut telling you?
My gut, I guess my gut leans Braves by a quarter of a point. I'll say that I lean Braves. I really like what the Mets have put together, but getting back to what I said a few minutes ago, there's a couple of really key factors that just have to go right for the Mets. And if it doesn't, then it's a disaster. But I'll say this. If that happens, Steve Cohen's just going to go trade and buy everybody that's available. If we're in the season and, oh, my God, Kodai Senga is terrible, he's just going to go and trade for Rafi Devers on a whim. So I think that there is a very good chance that no matter what happens, Steve Cohen will pivot on a dime. He's not going to let what happened last year happen again. And that almost needs to be factored into this as well.
No, you're right, because at the end of the day, like, management, that's part of the team too. I will throw out that it's like, AA over there at Atlanta, like, he's no,
AA does the same.
Like, he's not Steve Cohen level, but he will go out and get what's needed. Remember when the Braves lost to Cunha, they went out and got pretty much every outfielder and made the World Series.
Yep. Yeah, but Oakland's running out of players to trade to Atlanta. That's the problem here.
That's also true as well.
Look, I will say this, Mets fans, if everything hits, like Jimmy's saying, like literally Scherzer and
you're better. If everything hits, Mets are going to win 110 games this year.
You're better than the Astros. Like if everyone hits what they're supposed to do, you could be better. But the Astros are World Series champions, and the Astros are the most well-rounded winning machine in sports. Honestly, like they're up there for they just win. Yeah. Like, do you know a team in the last 5 years in all of North American sports? It probably is that just win consistently, like the Houston Astros,
Kansas City Chiefs,
like probably the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, the Astros are giving me peak Belichick, Brady, Patriots.
Yeah, for sure, man.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like it's tough to get past them, right? It's like they're always going to be there,
right? They may not always win. They may not always win, but they're in the conversation. They're there, and they're the toughest team to get over.
They're always going to be there. They're always going to be there. Okay, review time. What are we thinking here? I'll be honest. I think we did a pretty good job, chat.
Yeah.
I think we did a pretty good job. Is there anything that needs to get changed?
What do you think, Jimmy? We're looking at this now. What do you think?
I feel like, well, I don't know. I think we're good. There's just something that between the 7, 6, and 5 spot that just sort of sit with me. Like I don't want to move the Dodgers back out of this row. I think that they are 5. There is an argument to be made, and I hear your argument, and I may wake up tomorrow and agree with you. But today, right now, I think Dodgers stay in that top 5. The Padres are right there, and the Mariners are. I mean, they're all. I talk about this when I do my power rankings on Mondays during the season. A lot of times when we do these power rankings, you look at the number and you see who your numerical neighbor is, and you may think it's not always just about who your neighbor is. It's about what the gap is in between these numbers. And I want to say that the gap, I feel like the gap, and I'll even include the Phillies, that 8, 7, 6, 5 feels really tight right now.
Yeah.
It feels really like Phillies are close to San Diego. San Diego's close to Seattle. Seattle's close to I feel like they're all jumbled in, sharing one plot of land. You think about you drive down the street, you're like, God, these houses are right on top of one another. Well, I feel like that's what's happening right there.
100%.
And then there's other situations where there's a mile in between houses. And that is the case with a couple of these, but it just feels really tight and jammed up in that spot. But I think that we have to settle on an order. Yeah. And this is pretty close.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, there is never going to be a perfect power ranking. No one's ever going to agree. I mean, we already got a bunch of people in the chat kind of saying what they would move around and tweak everything.
And that's great.
Then everyone will disagree with that and move that around.
Yeah. So. No, everybody's going to have a different power ranking. I say that every time I do the streams, and that is fine. It's great. I'm okay with you having a different power ranking. I am perfectly fine with you having the Mets over the Braves, or the Dodgers over the Yankees, or the Braves over I am fine if you have that. But what I don't want to have is I don't want to have someone coming in saying the Brewers are better than the Padres. That's what I don't want to have. Like I don't want to have Rays are better than the Braves. We can't have that. If we can all agree that generally our top 10 is pretty close, right? If we have the same teams, we're pretty close. We have the same fringe teams, right? Maybe you have the Blue Jays 11 and the Guardians 10. Like then we're basically in agreement, right? We're basically in agreement. Anybody that thinks the Red Sox are the number 10 team, then we have a big disagreement.
Goodness.
Yeah, I agree. And also, we're going to do this one more time, but this is the way too early stuff. Trades are going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
There's more signings to be had. Things will change. You know, if the Dodgers go out and make a big trade tomorrow for Pablo Lopez, maybe they fly back up again, right? So there's lots of stuff still to go down here, guys.
No doubt about it. Guys, what's your like count at?
Wow, we're literally one like away from 69, actually. We still haven't got there.
Get that like, get the boys over 169. How close, Blue Jays today, chat, can you get to 100? You're going to have to blow past 69. How close can you get to 100? I'm 5 away from 150. So those of you in my chat, hit that like. Let's fly past that 150 mark.
Go.
I think that this is. I agree with you guys. This is pretty good. There's definitely room for movement. A lot of you in the chat have those ideas of movement, and again, they're fine. They're good. If you want to have the Mets over the Braves, I'm okay with that. If you want to have the Dodgers over the Yankees, I'm okay with that. If you want to have the Padres over the Dodgers, I'm okay with that. I would not be okay with Red Sox over Blue Jays or Angels over the Giants, but I am good as long as we're relatively close, within a few spots, that we are basically agreeing together.
So I do want to cut this stream pretty soon, but before we do that, out of that 30 to 21 right there, the 30 to 21 that we forgot about that we did so early on, it happens every single year in pretty much every single league of sports that one of those teams is actually going to be pretty good. And I guarantee that at some point, maybe at the end of the year, probably if I had to place money on it right now, one of those teams would make playoffs. I have no idea which one. But I think it almost always happens. Which team out of there do you think would be most likely to do that?
So I think right. We can sort of let's take that. So Washington, no. Oakland, no. Cincinnati, no. Kansas City, sorry guys. Colorado, Colorado just doesn't have Colorado just doesn't have the pitching. Pittsburgh, Arizona really hasn't added anything. I'm not saying Pittsburgh's going to finish above 500, but I think Pittsburgh's going to be very interesting this year. So I would go something. I would say if I had the suspects, I would say it's Minnesota and Detroit. Yeah, because Detroit has a new general manager. How does that impact some things? You're going to hope for some bounce backs with some of that pitching, some of the guys that were hurt. Detroit went through a terrible run of injuries last year. Right. Absolutely terrible. And then they had some rookies, Torkelson and Green, that just didn't launch last year. But now they have a full year of experience, and you can see them bouncing back. So I would think out of the group here, that 30 through 21, it's probably between the Twins, because we know they got talent. The Twins have talent. Yeah. The Tigers, and I think the Pirates will be interesting. Miami just completely struck out adding a bat, and there's still time, but to this point, they have not added the bat. So they'll be looking for bounce backs from Garcia and Soler from last year. Arizona didn't really add anything. Colorado talked about adding, but they were unable to pull the trigger. KC has added some pitching, but it's kind of what do you do? So I feel like it is Detroit and Minnesota will be the two teams to watch to at some point launch themselves into the conversation and be in that 15 to 11 range.
Because I mean, and also they're both can we all agree that like the AL Central is probably the weakest division, or if not the NL Central, probably the weakest divisions in baseball. So if you are going to rack up some W's, it's going to be in those divisions.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, exactly. That's just funny that those are the two central teams, right? Yeah, because you've got, if you're Detroit, if you're Minnesota, you're going up against Kansas City. You're going, and let's say Detroit and Minnesota don't hit. You're going up against the one that didn't hit. And I mean, Cleveland, we're talking about Cleveland winning 91 or 92 games to win the Central. These other divisions, the winner is probably going to win 100 games or close to it in all of the other divisions. The Central will be, at least the AL Central, I think, we'll be looking at a team in the low 90s. So there's 10 more wins out there that another Central team could grab.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think, honestly, probably the best bet for me, if I was to put money on it, would be Detroit. A lot of young guys over there. If they decide to pull like a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette, they might just be okay.
Right. Exactly. There's the power rankings, everybody. I think that it is encouraged for those of you that are active in the live chat. Do us a favor, comment down in the comment section as well. Hitting the like, subscribing, those help us out. Also, commenting in the comment section. That's another way to help and support the channel. The more comments we rack up down there, the more YouTube is going to work us into the algorithm in a positive way. So comment down in the comment section, your top 5. Tell us where we were egregiously wrong. That's fine. But make sure to comment, like, subscribe, all of that. And you all know every Tuesday, make the appointment. Even next week, we got Christmas on like Sunday, so I'm going to be free Tuesday again next week, boys. If you want to come on back
on Tuesday night, I think I'll be good to go.
Yeah, I could be
on
back.
Tuesday night. I'll be good to go. So I'm ready for it. Yeah.
All right, good deal. So make sure everybody set that reminder Tuesday nights at 8:30. This is the place to be. Well, not just this, both. Pick a stream, hop on in, Blue Jays Today or BALLCAP Sports. You can go either spot, hang out, interact with the chat over there.
Sweet. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, on That Damn Baseball Show. We will catch you all next week.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.